Everyone has seen the videos while scrolling. I earned $10,000 this week with a faceless YouTube channel. Well, I made one, and you're watching it, and here's the reality of it all. I'm going to try and break down my experience and show you how I built it, including everything that went right and wrong. A lot went wrong. I'm not a YouTuber. I love YouTube, but I'm not a host type, as you can tell. But what I can tell you is this is not as easy as they claim. Yes, you can pay an exorbitant amount of money for subscriptions, get someone on 5ERR, but can the average person make a faceless YouTube channel and do it for $0? The short answer is no. The long answer is yes, but you'll need a lot of time and patience, and more patience. Let's get to the details. There is a lot to unbox. First off, this isn't for a novice. If you don't have familiarity with any form of computers, coding, Linux, image editing, YouTube, things like that, I wouldn't even attempt doing something like this from a phone. Unless you want to pay someone to do things you can't, don't even bother wasting your time. Talk about using FableHigh, or it wouldn't get done as fast here, is a lot to juggle from the beginning. And if you don't have some of these skills already, it would be absolutely maddening. Not to mention it would take forever to complete. Luckily, I have some basic skills, and I'm a good researcher. If you want a good learning experience, this is perfect. Section 1. The idea and the stack. The idea was simple: a faceless sports channel that runs itself. Daily MLB recaps, one short per game, plus a full-length daily recap video. The rule I set from day one: the running cost had to be as close to zero as possible. That one rule shaped every decision in this build. Here's the stack. The game data comes from MLB's own free stats API. Scores, box scores, home runs, pitching lines, all of it, free and legal to use as data. The scripts are written by Claude, and here's the trick, not through a paid API. Through the command line, using a subscription I already pay for anyway. So the AI writing costs me nothing extra per video. The voice is Piper, a completely free open-source text-to-speech engine that runs locally on my own machine. No cloud, no per-word fees. The graphics are generated with Python and a library called Pillow. Every stat card, every thumbnail drawn programmatically from scratch. And the video editing is FFmpeg. Free, powerful, and as you'll see, occasionally the villain of this story. All running on a 10-year-old Linux Mint machine. 24 gigabytes RAM, no graphics card. The legal reality check. Before we talk about what we built, let's talk about what we couldn't build, because this shaped everything. You cannot use actual MLB game footage. The league owns every second of it. A highlights channel that clips real broadcasts, gets copyright struck into the ground, and never gets monetized. This channel doesn't use a single frame of game footage. The automation deliberately never generates or downloads any of that. It only builds original placeholder art as fallbacks. Generic baseball icons, monogram team badges, so the pipeline works even with empty asset folders. That's the first big limitation of doing this free and legal. No footage means the visuals have to earn attention some other way, which is why so much of this journey ended up being about graphics and motion. You can see the progression in the videos. The first big failure: corrupted audio. The first videos the pipeline produced had audio that sounded like a demon gargling gravel. Here's why. The text-to-speech engine outputs audio at one sample rate, 22,050 Hz, mono. The branding animations were rendered at 44,100 Hz, stereo. And when FMPEG concatenates clips with mismatched audio formats, it doesn't error out. It just produces corruption. Silently. The fix became a law of the codebase. Every single piece of audio everywhere gets forced to the exact same format. 44,100 Hz, stereo, AAC, before anything touches anything else. Section 4. Teaching an AI to write sports scripts. The narration scripts are written by Claude from the real box score data, fed the actual numbers, asked to write broadcast copy. What didn't work? The first setup used command line flags that turned out to break things. The timeouts and settings we ended up with weren't guesses. Every single one was tuned from a real observed failure. What did work? Giving it a fallback. If the AI script fails for any reason, the system falls back to a template-generated script, so a video still goes out. Section 5. The YouTube Shorts thumbnail problem. Here's a limitation almost nobody talks about. You cannot reliably set a custom thumbnail on a YouTube Short through the API. You can do it on mobile manually. For regular videos, it's worked for years. For shorts, inconsistent, half rolled out, sources literally contradict each other about whether it works at all, and thumbnails really matter. So we found the one loophole that works for now. So we baked the thumbnail into the video. The design thumbnail is the literal first frame, held for exactly 2 seconds, with B frames disabled in the encoder, so the start of the stream is bulletproof. It's enforced as a hard floor in the code. That didn't work, so I added another thumbnail at the 30-second mark for 5 seconds, and finally some consistency, but still not perfect. The thumbnail itself is randomly generated fresh for every game from an asset folder, which I add images to. The date, huge at the top, the team matchup, a ticker bar, and the headline is pulled from the actual box score. If a guy hit 2 homers, the thumbnail says his name, and 2 home runs, game, real data automatically. Section 6, graphics. Everything is drawn by code. Every graphic is drawn pixel by pixel in Python, and we redesigned the short thumbnail template at least 4 times. Full bleed player photo backgrounds, a jagged torn edge red banner, a translucent panel behind the team logos. Then we added motion. First, an animated logo intro and outro, the channel logo spinning up from nothing, then a rotating corner watermark through the whole video. Then my favorite, the DVD screensaver effect, both teams' logos drifting random speed and direction every time, and right before the outro they explode, scale up fast and vanish. The clever part, that's not rendered frame by frame, it's a single FMPEG pass using the classic bounce math as a closed form expression. Costs seconds, not minutes. Section 7, sound, round 2 and round 3, I added a music soundtrack. Starts at frame 1, loops under the narration for the whole video. Tested perfectly on the development side, shipped it. Section 8, automation and the art of self-healing. The whole system runs on 3 scheduled jobs. Every hour from noon to midnight Eastern, it checks for games that just ended and immediately generates and uploads that game's short. At 2 a.m., it builds the full daily recap, and there's a toolbox of manual commands for everything else. Section 9, what free actually costs. Let's talk money, because free has fine print. Per video cost, $0. The data is free, the voice is free and local. The graphics are code, the editing is FMPEG, the uploads use free API quotas. What I actually pay? The Claude subscription I already had, $20 per month, which covers the script writing with no per-call charges. Electricity for a machine that's on anyway. And the assets I sourced myself. Total spent on this entire build, about 16 hours over a week span. Time is the real currency. The free stack trade-offs are real. The voice is good for free, but it's not a human, and it's not a $30 a month AI voice either. No real footage, ever. An older FMPEG that bites you with version quirks, API quotas, you pay with engineering instead of money. Section 10, the results so far. Is that monetizable? Not yet. And let's be honest about the mountain. YouTube's Shorts path wants 10 million views in 90 days, or the classic path wants 1,000 subscribers plus 4,000 watch hours. This is a volume and consistency game, and the machine's whole advantage is that it never misses a day and never gets tired. So that's the journey. An idea, a pile of free tools, and a channel that now publishes more consistently than any human could. If you want a deeper dive into any piece of this, the thumbnail system, the automation, the AI scripting, tell me in the comments. And hey, the machine would want me to say it. Subscribing is the one thing it can't automate, so give a like and follow.